Hola. Hi, guys. So I just wanted to recap what we went over in class earlier this morning for those of you who weren't here. And one of the first things was when we do the very first movement of gathering chi, the question came up, is it out here to the side or is it more in front? So if you feel for yourselves, bringing the arms out to the sides is a fine movement. We sometimes do that when we're gathering, when we're cleaning out from qigong, right? We come straight up the outside and down through the top of the head. But when we're preparing for the form, rather than having the arms out to the sides, which, as you can probably see, doesn't change anything in terms of my stance, if I bring my arms a little forward, there's that little adjustment going back. So the beginning of sinking, lifting the wrist, relaxing the elbow, the arm a little forward, that already starts to set you up for the form. And we stand up here, and we press down here, down, 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 down. So I just wanted to reiterate that. What else came up in class today? When you are bringing your arms down, bring the elbows a little behind you and sink and sink, so you have somewhere to go to come forward. And I will link to this video, a short video of Feng doing this movement with an opponent and showing what the function is. I'm sure we've done that before, but it's always good to see it again. So we've got our palm. When you stand up, pull the belly in. Pull the belly in, so you're standing up tall, so that you have somewhere to come from to go down. If you stay down the whole time, you have nowhere to go, right? So you come up, pull the belly in, up, then you press down. And we also had this, not pressing down here, we're pressing down, heels of the hands here. So the elbows are coming back, not too far to the side. Think of pumping up a bicycle. If you were to pump up a bicycle, bump, 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 that's where we are. Another fine point that came up is when we do G, is it level at the elbows, or is it down here at the pelvis, where we discussed that when we do come down here, oh, it's such a nice feeling for the back to go back. But I feel that if we bring the hands down to the pelvis and go forward from there, it encourages this. It's sort of like, let's shove our pelvis forward, which feels really good in the lower back, doesn't it? And you feel like you're doing something powerful, but have somebody come and push you and you're stiff in the hips, right? You are braced. So bringing the arms too low and going like sort of shoving the pelvis under here is not what we want to do. If we think in terms of physics, this right angle is going to give you the best amount of power. Then sinking and moving the back without taking the pelvis under. See where I am? That brings you right back onto your heels. When we do this movement from the 48, excuse me, the low punch, this area, this is a right angle. We're just lower. So it's not that we've come down here, we've come down here. it's still a right angle. We've just lowered ourselves to to that level. What else came up? So when you go down, sits bone heel, yes, sits bone heel, get full like you're in a cylinder. When you sink, let your abdomen, and when I say abdomen or belly, that's kind of confusing because, right, everything goes to the front, which means that the back is arching. When you get full everywhere, like you're in a tube and you're getting fatter, 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 fatter in the back, in the floating ribs, in the waist. So my own interpretation of the dantian has developed into something like this. The dantian is the area that's at the base of the diaphragm, the floor of the pelvic floor, and the transverse abdominal muscles, which when we say turn waist, that's what we're using. We're using the transverse abdominals. So this area, bottom of the diaphragm, top of the pelvic floor, transverse abdominals, and this area of the back, this is the dantian. Boom, that you see, you know, when they do this, unless you're a big drinker, you know, people have this. But people that practice Tai Chi a lot develop the ability to press this out and to become very thick and stout and solid. And can be a big challenge because you might notice that some places fill easier than others, not so much on the other side. But when you can truly get full in your dantian area, you'll find yourself more truly on top of your hip joints and just at a place where the torso is set up that you can move in any direction with the least amount of reorganization, because you don't have to adjust your spine, right? Which is always adjusting in minute ways too. But this fullness also takes care of the gap that we have in our spine that is the most vulnerable between the ribs and the sacrum. Because this part of the spine is reinforced by the ribs that are on either side of it. They give it reinforcement and more stability. So our unstable parts of our spine are the neck, the most delicate, and therefore the most movement, has the most movement here, and the lumbar, which is also vulnerable, is not built to twist, is built to move forward and back, and is vulnerable because there's no ribs there, there's that space. So if you make yourself thick, it's like girding your loins, right? You are getting full kidneys, full belly, sinking straight down and protecting your organs, protecting your spine, and setting yourself up for a pleasant Tai Chi experience. So when you sink, you get full all around, and those tight muscles in the back can also start to relieve themselves. What else came up? When you go up with your whole self. When you go down, we discovered there was some confusion about the word level. The head stays level. That doesn't mean that it stays at the same level as you go down and you're trying to stretch your neck like a giraffe. The head stays level in terms of you could balance something on it. You could balance something on it. That way, you're not looking up and looking down, which is going to affect the pelvis, which is going to affect your stability. So hopefully that clarifies that. So let's not go on. Let's just do the first movement again and think of those things. So right away, you're neutral. Your arms are hanging. You're a skeleton. 80% of the weight is in the heels. That doesn't mean that you're leaning back. It means that the curve of the pelvis, the natural curves of the spine are there. The head is not back here, you see. You want to find that neutrality. And then sink and get full. If you get full, you will sink. You will sink. Then long. You sink a little more, don't you? Bring in some chi. Press it down. Press down from here. Think the first rib, which goes around your neck like a necklace, a collar. Press down. Sorry, I'm getting lost in talking. So Pong, the weight comes a little back. Not so much back, but it's adjusting to the weight of the arms because you're so relaxed, because you're so skeletally organized. Bring in the chi. Sink down. Head goes with you. It's just that it stays erect. Pause, let things burble here. Digest your breakfast, your lunch. Long. Draw in. You're standing up here, so you have somewhere to go. Sinking down and down and relax. The ribs are hanging like an egg off the spine. The arms and shoulders are hanging. The head is balanced. Your breathing is easy. When you come forward, there's a little closing. A little closing. Long. When you come back, there's an opening. Not too much. There's an opening, a widening. Not just in the shoulder girdle, not just in the shoulders, also in the hips. And a well-organized skeleton, as soon as you do this, you see the elbows? The wrist sits down, the elbow. Something happens with the shoulders. Something happens in here. It's like this, your skeleton goes boom, ba, boom, ba. Actually, if you do this movement, you can exaggerate the legs a little bit. In, out, spiral in, spiral out, spiral in, spiral out. That is present in a way that you really almost can't see it. Level, not down here, that shoves your pelvis under. Forward. Go into, the arms go forward, you go down and back. Now, the power, the distance of power is not very far. You're not going to go all the way out here unless you move with it. So forward, where does it stop? It stops. So you let it go, and when you come up, everything comes up. Not just the arms and then the legs. Not just the legs and then the arms. Everybody comes up together. Loop. And as soon as this, all together, ankle, back of the knee, quad, fold, fold. Everything folds, folds. And we start again. Get underneath it, get behind it, get behind it. Remember, you're pushing the water, you're pushing through the honey. Push through the honey. Stand up, up, up. Press down, full, relaxed, heavy, 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 heavy. That's enough. That's enough. So review the first move for yourself. Think of these points, and we'll see what we do tomorrow. Okay. Bye, guys.